Come with us, Michael.
Oh, hi, Inez.
Oh, hi, Christopher.
What are you drinking, William?
I'm having some nice wine, Christopher.
Ooh.
Stop fighting me, Michael.
Are you drinking that nice wine?
I am Christopher. You should have some. It's really wine. Not.
Drink some of this, Michael.
Have some, Christopher.
Be one of us.
Doesn't change you at all.
No, it's pretty good. Hi.
Oh, God.
Hi there, welcome to Cinema Blind Spots. I'm Chris.
I'm William.
And today we're joined by our good friend,
Inez.
And today on the show, we're going to be checking out a movie that is one of Inez's favorites, The Lost Boys. I saw this movie back when I was a kid. So Inez, tell me about what was your experience? How did you first find out about this movie? How did you first check it out?
You know, it's just one of my favorites that I've seen all my life. I've always been a fan of 80s movies, vampire movies. I just think it's a really fun movie, and I think it has held up really well, and I think it epitomizes the best of the 80s. It's campy, it's fun, it's cheesy, and it's ridiculous, and I love it.
You're creature of the night, Michael. Just like out of a comic book.
How old were you when you first saw it?
You know, I can't remember the first time that I saw it, but I couldn't have been older than like 8 or 9
Yeah,
when
same.
I first saw it.
Same.
I was, you know, and I probably shouldn't have been watching this when I was that age, but my mom, she let me watch a lot of things that
I don't think
shouldn't
there's
have watched.
anything in this movie that's necessarily out of the realm of being bad for
It's not
a
t-
kid.
it's not
very tame for a,
terrible, yeah.
for a vampire movie, and how sexuality and sex is very much usually a part of it. This is very PG-13 at
I agree.
best.
It's rated R, but I think it's a soft R.
Or for anything, it's the final bit where they're actually killing the vampires.
Absolutely.
When it just goes full out violence, that's probably its R rating.
I agree.
It wasn't as violent as I remembered. I remember when I saw it as a kid, I was so terrified of this movie. But fast drawn to it, specifically because of, like, you know, you've got the Coreys, and it's like I wanted to be in that sort of group, killing vampires and stuff like that. But I remembered it being very scary, and then watching it now, yeah, you're right, it's very tame.
I don't remember it being very scary for me throughout my life. I was always a big fan of the two Coreys, and I love Jason Patrick and those jeans. So I couldn't,
Felt the same way about Jamie Gertz.
And you've got a young Alex Winter in a crop top. I mean, you have to enjoy that.
Bill S. Preston Esquire himself.
And a mullet.
That's true.
So, Will, you didn't grow up with this movie.
I did not.
You just watched it.
I did.
So what are your thoughts?
I echo everything that Inez just said about this movie, but to the opposite degree. It is cheesy. It is bad. It's fun. That's where I have to leave it.
I think you're being a bit harsh. The main reason that I wanted William to see this movie is because I could not believe that he went to Santa Cruz. He lived in the town where this movie was filmed.
That's true.
And I feel like just because of that alone, he should have seen the movie.
That's very
Explain to them how they showed it at your school every single
That's
year.
true. Yes, so they filmed this movie in Santa Cruz. I am a alumni of UC Santa Cruz. I know all the shots of this movie because I lived there. And every year before the school year began, they would do an outdoor screening of this movie because they love it so much. Never went. Never watched it.
You knew of it, though.
I knew of it. And I
knew of the movie.
I knew of the movie, definitely through pop culture. There is a Simpsons Treehouse of Horror episode in which the primary parody is Bram Stoker's Dracula, but there's so much Lost Boys in it that I find so funny that now I get that reference. Kiefer Sutherland's character being the head vampire, and they kill him, and it's not him, and it turns out to be Ed Herman.
It was you I was after all along, Lucy.
What?
And, you know, in the Simpsons Treehouse of Horror, they think Mr. Burns is the lead vampire, and they kill him, and it's not, and it turns out it's Grandpa. You know, it's like...
Ed Herman's having a blast in this movie, too.
He's the best.
He's so awesome.
I still want you, Lucy.
Diane Weiss, it's got an amazing cast. I think that's part of it also, and that's part of what makes it hold up.
The casting, the cinematography, the music.
The music is great.
So great. Joel Schumacher is just like at the height of his powers.
See, and I think that's one of the things that kept me away from this movie for so long. I'm a comic book geek, and so for the longest time I grew up with Joel Schumacher ruined Batman. And then I look at all of these other bad Joel Schumacher films. I'm like, I hear The Lost Boys is cheesy, and it's by Joel Schumacher. It's not selling me. That's why I never went to actually seek it out.
He's great. Flatliners?
Flatliners.
Never seen Flatliners.
Flatliners is another, I love
Great.
Flatliners. That's another great cast. Julia Roberts is in that movie. It's a great movie. I love Flatliners. That's another good one.
That's the thing. It's like it took someone like Joel Schumacher to make this type of movie. Yeah, it is kind of cheesy, but like that's just sort of his style, and I think it works. I don't know how you could have a scene with a shirtless, muscular saxophone player.
That's my favorite.
And it just works. It's just like you just sort of buy into it, and like because it just goes with everything else that's going on in the movie, with the look and the feel and the sound of it.
But I love during that scene, even though you watch that and you're like, oh my God, this guy, he's wearing leggings, he's wearing like this outfit and the hair, and he's playing saxophone and all the grinding, but all you're paying attention to is Jason Patric checking out Jamie Gertz, because it's like, that's just a moot point. You don't even care, about that, because all he cares about is Jamie Gertz walking by him, and that's all he can focus on.
So you just said, the saxophone player part, is that your favorite part? Do you have another favorite part?
Oh no, yeah. I have many favorite parts throughout the movie, but I love the scenes with Corey Haim and Jason Patric. I think their relationship is kind of what makes the movie kind of like fun, but also heartwarming, because ultimately he just wants to save his brother. They show them in the beginning going through this like change in their lives with their parents having a divorce, and then like now they're moving with Grandpa, and Grandpa, that's another thing, I just love him. He's the best.
You have a TV?
No. I just like to read the TV guide. Read the TV guide. You don't need a TV.
He's my favorite of the whole movie, but I think...
I feel like there should be a prequel movie with young Grandpa.
Oh, he is the best, but I love because it shows their relationship, and then ultimately at a certain point, he wants to eat his brother and kill him. So there's that change, but yet, he still wants to save his brother, and that's why he enlists the help of his comic book nerd of friends, which is awesome.
I like the relationship between Jason Patric and Corey Haim too. Normally you would see like Jason Patric be like, oh, my younger brother, get lost, I want to go, drink beer and sleep with chicks, blah, blah, blah.
You don't understand.
Yeah, but you can see that like they're really close and they have like a good relationship. And
I like when he starts to change, like it's immediately like a help me type of thing, like you're different, something's wrong with you, and he's like, I know, help me type of thing. It's not antagonistic at all.
No, not at all. He wants to help his brother because he can immediately tell that something is going on, and he's like, what's going on with you?
I also like the family unit of this. There's really no like animosity even towards like Diane Weist's character. Like she takes the position that everything that Corey Haim does to like Ed Herman is that he's trying to just sabotage their relationship because she thinks he's the jealous son.
Here, quick, drink some water. Whoa! Sam, what's the matter with you?
And obviously, yes, he's trying to find out if he's a vampire and everything, but the point is like that's her initial position, but the whole family is very strong. It's a very strong unit. It's not a mom you don't understand me type of thing at all. Like she says, you gotta take care of your brother, Jason Patric, and he's like, okay. Like it's not like, oh, I was planning on going to Tashi stage and pick up the power converters. It's nothing like that.
Do you have a favorite part, Will, or a part that you did not like so much?
I wouldn't say there was any part I didn't like. I wouldn't even say I don't like this movie. It's fun. I would probably watch it again. I would say my favorite part was at the end of the movie when they start killing vampires and they throw the one in the tub of holy water and garlic and he just explodes and it's like coming up out of like a cherry bomb coming up out of all the water. Just all the different kills that they did I found pretty fun. Kind of reminiscent of how they kill like gremlins. It's just like the fun little ways to kill him, because they make a point of stressing before the battle begins. Corey Feldman says no single vampire dies the same way. So then they play with that, like how many different fun ways can we kill them.
I feel like it was needed, and I do your point where they say no vampire dies the same. I think that's what made it fun, you know, because it wasn't scary. At the end, you wanted to see the vampires blow up. You wanted to see the blood out of the sink. You wanted to see all of the crazy, ridiculous things that happened to them. I also enjoy that there's the baby vampire that nobody ever seems to question. Why is this child hanging out with this group of teenagers? And nobody ever says anything about that.
Isn't he Jamie Gertz's brother? Like, I feel like
They never say that, though.
never do.
She's just always very protective of him. And I don't believe he's actually her brother. I think he's just a child that, you know, came across these vampires and ended up a little pseudo-vampire, but he's never killed anybody.
I assumed while watching that he was Jamie Gertz's brother, and they were almost keeping him as a hostage to force Jamie Gertz to become a vampire. That's at least how I interpreted it.
Maybe.
Interesting.
And you know, this is one of the few movies where I know almost all the characters' names because they are very explicit in saying
Absolutely.
David, Michael.
Star!
Even when David and Michael are fighting, they're having that fly fighting where they're trying to push each other into the antlers. And they're like, "You're never gonna defeat me, Michael." Says you, David. Like, it's so formal in their fighting.
I love it.
It's for, like, you know, the people that can't see too well, so they know what's going on.
I can't tell the blonde guy from the black-haired guy.
Wait, what was his name again? Oh, thank you for reminding me again.
Right, it was David. That's right.
Of course.
I'm happy that William has finally seen this
Finally
movie.
seen it, yeah.
Because he should have seen it
I'm
a long
surprised
time
they even
ago.
gave you your degree.
You know,
Yeah.
now I don't.
Exactly.
Now when I go back to visit my old college, I don't have to hang my head in shame.
Yeah, you know? They're all just going around making Lost Boys references. And you're like, I don't know.
That's all Santa Cruz is just Lost Boys references. Lost Boys and Pulp Fiction t-shirts. That's all.
Santa Carla, death capital of the world.
Thanks everyone for joining us for Cinema Blind Spots. Make sure you check out Lost Boys and all of our other videos. Make sure you like, subscribe, do all that stuff. It's really cool and we appreciate it. What was, I thought that was just wine. Is that blood?
Yes, I will give you blood all this time.
Cheers!